Alright, so today we're at Rosyth and we're gonna have a look at this very beautiful Inter Terrace right behind us. Just right across us is the entire Serangoon Garden enclave. Beautifully renovated Inter Terrace that was just done with $700,000 of renovation less than 12 months ago. I think we're in for a fun time. Why our clients selling this? There's been a change of plans because they wanted multi-generation living, even though the renovation was just completed less than 12 months ago. The first thing you will notice is an extremely clever design. This has all been approved by PE. This is like a natural air well that has been created. Most traditional Inter Terraces, if you were to go to the Cat 1 or Cat 2 category, Category 1 belongs to homes that are meant to be teared down. Nowadays, to rebuild a new home, you need at least 18 to 24 months, but this home belongs to a 3.5 category, so it's almost like new. Because a brand new home right now in the D19 area, that will bring you to at least $5 to $5.5 million. We categorize that as Category 4. And of course, do remember to sign up for our next upcoming landed convention as well as our landed webinar. We'll post out the links and QR code later for you. In 2015, the developer bought a huge detached, went through subdivision. When you go through subdivision, you have to adhere with certain plot dimension requirement. The plot width for this is 6.8 meters, depth is 24.5 meters. Now this home is asking for $4.88 million, less than the $5 million entry mark, 999 years leasehold in nature, so it's as good as freehold. You don't technically need a semi-D if you're not after the status or you're not after the setback land at the site. So a brand new semi-D minimally must have an 8 meters width as well as a totality of 200 square meters. The minimum plot width after subdividing a semi-D is 2152 square feet. Now I'm standing in the Inter Terrace. You have a total build-up of 4,500 square feet spread over 3.5 level because we're in the 3-story mixed landed zone. By minimum requirement, an Inter Terrace has to be 1605 square feet. So actually the two key differences is that a semi-D versus an Inter Terrace has a 50 square meters difference if these are two brand new subdivided landed units. Now, if you were to calculate that together with me, a 50 square meters happens because if you want to have that 2 meters setback at the side of a semi-D, multiply by a depth of 25 meters, that will then form a 50 square meters. If you translate that to square feet, that is about 568 square feet. If you multiply by the market price right now of a land plot, which is approximately about $2,300 to $2,500 per square feet, that means that in order to buy a semi-D, you need to invest at least an additional $1.3 to $1.5 million. And that is why you always see a difference between an Inter Terrace as well as a semi-D pricing, which is usually about a $1.5 million gap. But the beauty of an Inter Terrace is that if you don't need a 2 meter setback, the internal width is the same. You enjoy the full 6 meters width. So on the left and right flank, those are two corner terraces, and right in the middle is the Inter Terrace that we're standing in. If I minus the wall width, basically this is 6.455 in terms of internal width. So the plot width is 6.8 meters. You consider the wall thickness, what you get internally is 6.455, so that's as good as a semi-D if you don't need a side setback. You can save about $1.3 to $1.5 million if you don't need a semi-D status. You're still getting the same amount of width if you're talking about 6 meters or 8 meters differences. So at a glance, this is the view that you get. If you're into hosting, this is lovely to have. 4 zonings usually in a terrace home. First part will be your courtyard area, and of course that's where your car porch is. If you want to do gardening, then what you can consider is to sacrifice 1 car lot and use a left flank to do your gardening zone. Of course, this home has been completed in about 2017. Right now in the year 2023, this is a 6-year-old Inter Terrace. Externally, you have a darker grey tone as well as a lot of black metal grille kind of designs. These are meant for privacy reasons. Right Outside immediately, this is a singular straight line. No cars are allowed to be parked on the left and right hand side. But because you already have 2 parking lots, I think that's taken care of. If you head downwards a little bit, I noticed there are dotted lines already, so you can easily park your cars there. Door size is great. Sliding panel at the side, tinted glass. If you want a little bit more privacy, you can just close up the curtains. If you are sitting at the courtyard, you get privacy. You don't get onlookers walking past and you don't have to worry about people looking in. Level 1, that's about 3.4 meters in terms of ceiling. This has already been full maxed out at 3.5 story. This is a beautiful future-proofing thing that has already been done. Not all Inter Terraces that was completed in the mid-2010 seasons have lift. This is the Artico lift. This came from Sweden, one of the most top-notch lifts. I want to show you the open kitchen. The services zoning are all taken care of on the right flank. So if you notice, there are 4 doors here. This is under the stairway storage space. You got a powder room here, which is also beautifully done. So if you can get a glimpse of this. The third door is a home shelter storage zone. And of course, you have a helper's room right here with its own ventilation windows towards the back. Additionally, you have a common bathroom here. Usually what people do at the back zoning is to park their bicycles, put in their laundry zoning. A center island right in the middle is nicely blended into the whole dimension of the home. You get a dishwasher that is being planted, and this is a built-in system. A lot of pull-out drawers right here. So these are all done with bloom. I like the fact that the kitchen cabinetry are internally laminated as well. There's pull-outs and double pull-out. Get microwave, oven, 2-door fridge, a little bit more bandwidth at the top. Adding on to the fact that these are all ducted aircons for the entire level 1. Rosyth is zoning that is under the Kovan belt. So when we look at enclave in the D19 zoning, predominantly we are always talking about Kovan or we talk about Serangoon Gardens. D19 is a huge zone. A lot of people like to come here because this is an enclave that is very centralized. If you want to head on to town, usually people travel by Upper Serangoon Road or KPE, or they will go towards the slip roads towards CTE. But importantly, when we talk about landed enclaves, Serangoon Gardens pricing is different from Kovan pricing because Serangoon Gardens pricing is up a notch. Rosyth happens to have a little bit of the best of both worlds because if you want to travel to Kovan MRT and Heartland Mall, you can travel by the internal roads in the landed enclave. If you want to go into Serangoon Garden, you don't have to fight the traffic jam within the circular zoning, but you can still get to enjoy good food at Chomp Chomp as well as shopping within myVillage. I want to come back and talk a little bit about the layout. On level 2, there are 2 ensuite plus a study room. At level 3, another 2 ensuite plus a family zoning. And then as we head up to level 4, which is the attic level, there's a place, of course, that you can do your workout during the daytime. Welcome to level 2. I think your kids are going to love it because your kids will be here and then waving to you. Oh, this is real solid, man. It's like steel bars. I'm standing in actually like the family zoning, and this is actually the study area that I was referring to. If you want a little bit more privacy, if you're doing Zoom at home, you can of course glass out this entire L portion here. I'm going to show you the first room. The room size is fabulous. This room is being designed with 4 huge wardrobe space. They are all lined against the wall line. You got a full glass panel here overlooking across. This is the ensuite bathroom. It has 3 components. One is of course the long bath outside. You get a standing shower right in between. WC zoning as well. This is a 999 years tenure. In Singapore, there are only 3 tenures. You either go for a 99 years, and of course, after 99 years, the land goes back to the government. If you go for 999 years or freehold, that's as good as perpetuity. And of course, in Singapore, there are only 73,000 landed properties. It has stagnated in terms of supply since 1996. So that's coming to 20 years of stagnation in supply. This is the asset class that has a very inelastic price to supply relationship, meaning that you will notice the landed home prices seems to always gradually go up across the years. Most of the time, when people buy landed homes as a home to stay, as well as a form of investment, the asset price keeps appreciating but supply cannot increase. Actually increases the inelasticity of this kind of asset, which is fantastic for the people owning it because you're not worried about oversupply situation. Your asset value keep appreciating while you live here, and as your kids grow up, and by the time they moved out, if you want to exit, you get, of course, a lot of the appreciation that you get to enjoy. So this is a great room for your children. It is already existingly a kid's room. So you can consider this level, one room as a children's room. You can take the front room, which is the master at the front. I love the fact that in terms of direction as well, towards the back is north facing, towards the front is south. There's no direct afternoon sun coming into the home. As we move upstairs, we need to talk about the pricing. With about $5 million, what can I get if I'm hunting for a landed home in D19? We usually like to segregate it into 4 different categories. Cat 2 belongs to homes that are meant for A and A. These are homes that are not too old, about 20 years old. Put in A and A at about $200 over per square feet. If let's say you are doing additional and alteration, and in totality that is about 1,000 square feet of A and A work, you multiply that by usually about $250, that is about $2 odd million. Sometimes, if you are a little bit not careful, A&A can actually go up to about 70% of the total rebuild cost. So usually for A&A, you need to set aside about $1 million plus minus. Rebuild cost usually is about $350 to $400 per square foot. Right now in the market, if you're hunting for an old Inter Terrace to actually tear down and rebuild to your own design, and of course you have to set aside about 18 to 24 months to work with your builder and architect, you will only be able to get a land here in D19 with at least $3.6 million. You add in about a 4,500 square feet or 5,000 square feet multiplied by about $350, that will bring you to about 1.7 to about $1.8 million plus minus. Add that back to your land cost, so you're looking at a brand new home with your own design after 2 years, close to $5.4 million. That's usually how you ascertain the amount of cost that you need to put into a Cat 1 home. What's available in D19 is that if you look at the brand new homes at Serangoon Gardens or maybe in the Kovan area, at minimum is about $5 odd million. Some of the bigger Inter Terraces are going close to $6 million. Now this home belongs to 3.5 in terms of category. Why? Is because it is less than 10 years old. It has been rejuvenated with renovation last year, because in terms of age from TOP is 6 years, but renovation is only 1 year. And I think the next homeowner is going to benefit a lot. 4.88 is the asking price, but if you were to factor in a little bit of depreciation of the renovation done last year, you still have close to about $500,000 of renovation that is pumped into the pricing itself. So I think totality 4.88 for a Cat 3 home at this state of condition, it looks pretty interesting, and this will suit a family. You want something that is move-in, but not at a top tier pricing. So I think this has a well-balanced kind of quantum price entry as well as the state of condition. It's a nice door. Hingeless doors. Whoa. This is the first time that I saw this kind of doors. The third bedroom, full glass effect, pretty nice. You get to see left and right as well as the front, because you have this window at the side panels. I think the windows has been tinted. You don't really feel the full heat from the front, but anyway, this is direct south facing, there's no direct afternoon sun. I think these 2 rooms at level 3 are also very interesting room for your children. And bearing the fact that if you want to make this home into a multi-generation living, it is already future-proof because the lift is done. Your parents can take one of the room as well. There's internal see-through glass. Now, this kind of design is important because you get to enjoy the light permeating from the front and the back of the home. I'm in the 4th bedroom. Room size pretty decent as well. The 2 rooms within this level, they are all ensuite. Let me show you the bathroom here. In terms of state of condition, every bathroom has its own ventilation windows. This is also not easy to achieve because this was done with a careful planning thought process. Most of the time, people like to put the bathroom at the back so they can enjoy the ventilation, but you have a little side setback over here. Internally, that was being created so that you have ventilation. We're gonna head upwards towards the attic now. As you can see, even the stairway is well taken care of in terms of brightness And that is a beauty. So I'm in the attic level. I just love this design because you can just see through all the way to level 1. Attic level, best space for you to host. Utilize this maybe as a workout zoning. Most of the time, if let's say you go to a 2.5-story landed area, you will see that a lot of people, they like to rebuild and create that basement space because they want more build up within the landed home. Because within a 2-story landed zoning, maximum height you can only go for 12 meters, and sometimes in terms of internal area is not enough. But when you buy something in the 3-story landed zone, you don't have to spend additional costs to think about rebuilding with a basement, because basement cost is 2 times the cost of anything above surface when you want to rebuild. Usually people who do not want to dabble into the basement construction, they will hunt for enclaves within landed zonings that has approved 3-story in terms of height. When we say 3-story, it means that you can go up to 3.5 level, which is why I'm at the half level, which is the attic level. So technically this is level 4. You can go up to 15.5 meters. You're going to see a little bit about what's happening at the back. So that is the new development called Affinity. And of course that is where the future MRT is going to be. That's Serangoon North MRT station. If you go towards this direction, across that road is already the entire Serangoon Gardens enclave. The lift is here. I'm going to show you the level 4 concept. Yeah, so which is why you have up to 4 levels right here, because we are in a 3-story landed enclave. Since I'm in this lift, I'm going to head backwards towards level 1. Alright, so we hope that you enjoyed this landed home tour with us. Right now, Inter Terraces are already challenging the next price bracket. So this home at 4.88, it presents a great opportunity. Have a look at this home with us. Our listing manager's numbers are right down below. Give a shout out to Wenping as well as Jay. They'll be very happy to show this place physically through an appointment. And my name is Melvin Lim, PropertyLimBrothers as always. Happy to show the place. We'll see you at the next landed home tour. Take care. No. One wider lah, one wider. Okay. Alright.
He didn't even look back. He just like, she turned.
Very, very nice. Okay. Okay, outside.